It's the wrong color. Hi guys. I keep trying to put this in landscape, except for I feel like less people see the video, so it won't let me do landscape. I can show you all. That's what we've gotten done so far. I did the arms on TikTok live last night, but not very many people watched. So now I'm back on YouTube and we're working on the torso. I need a better system for these markers because they're kind of getting in the way, and I didn't erase this enough. And although I'm going to put a lot of texture on it, I feel like it still needs to be somewhat erased. And after I put the marker on it, for some reason, it doesn't erase. This little lip right here doesn't hold very many markers. Hi! But also, if it's not erased all the way, that's okay, because I will be adding veins and texture and shading, so you probably won't see very many pencil marks. I don't need the pencil, I can put it away. So now we're working on the torso, and I'm hoping it goes as well as the arms did last night, because I really, really liked how the arms turned out. And I found out by using gray underneath a pink tone, it still leaves that cold, pale skin color that I like, or that I like in this drawing at least. This color. So we'll see how it goes. That's blue. We don't want that. We need this one. And then to give it a little bit more life, we color over top of the dark with a darker pink. And that brings slightly more life and also keeps it pale and kind of cold, because it keeps those gray, colder tones underneath it. I also feel like it gives the skin a little bit more realistic, even though I'm not really going for very realistic, seeing as to how it's a body with a flower for a head. But I do want it to be detailed. Like, look at that blending. It's almost perfect. Okay, so if the light's coming from here, this area needs to be darker. So we'll start by just using our light gray and seeing if that makes it dark enough or if we need to go in with a darker shade. But we don't want it to be too dark because it's not fully in shadow. We're gonna have to put more color back on top of this because it's too gray. But I feel like we need just a hint darker. Oh. These last few days, my markers have not been staying in my hands. So there will probably be multiple times where markers go flying. The first night I did this, I threw my pencil like across the desk, not on purpose, but it happened multiple times. It's quite annoying. Okay, we'll bring that skin tone back in and hope that that is good enough. I think that works. I think I'll have to bring my darker or my lighter shade to blend that out better, but I also might bring that pink tone over top of this a little to give it a little bit more life. I don't want to do too much though, because I don't want it to be too pink. In fact, we're actually going to go over a little more of this with yellow to give it more of a, not infected, but not fully normal skin, if you get what I'm saying. So this is gonna feel like a very dark maroon. And then we need to outline everything in a red because we want it to look open. But we might want to do that after, actually. I don't want to move this too far down because then I'll have to work on the legs too, and I'm trying to save that for later because I want to do the entire torso tonight. But I think we can bring it down just a little more. And if any of you have been here for the last few lives I've done, I was using copyright-free music on YouTube, and the ads were going off, I swear, like every 5 minutes. So now I'm using Amazon Music, and I actually have an account on there, so there will be no ads, which is great for me because I'd be in the middle of drawing something and then all of a sudden an ad would pop up that I'd have to skip. So some of these actually have to be colored in. And also I didn't erase that. Okay, so again, not all of these have to be empty. Some of these are not holes. They are supposed to be blue, which will make sense in a minute. So now we're going in with these blue colors for, I'm not sure what it would be considered, because technically it's a body, like a dead body. So I call these things corpse flowers for anyone who's just tuning in. And it's basically a human body on top, or with a flower head. And it's kind of, it doesn't make sense no matter how you put it, but whenever I think about it, it just makes more sense that the body be like dead. And also, I'm kind of combining my like 3 favorite things, which are like poses, skeletons, and then flowers. So that's why there's a flower head, and I get to draw skeletons on top of it. So I kind of mixed all 3 of my favorite things. And although it may not make perfect sense, I mean, it's technically not supposed to make sense, so. But that's how I explain it the best I can. Okay, so now we need to do the ones down here. These are bone, but these ones are not, so hold on. I need to add this blue in. Okay, where'd my, there it is. Okay. This isn't supposed to be this bright. I'm gonna have to tone it down. Honestly, I'll probably have to go back over it with the blue after I tone it down because I'm basically washing all the blue out of it, so. Yeah, that basically washed all the blue out. That's okay. I'm gonna let it dry for a second though because I don't want it bleeding through. So we'll just come over here. I think this area needs to be a little bit in shadow. So we're gonna just same with this area, honestly. I feel like if it's folding skin, it would make more sense to, that's a dot, but we do have to pretend like it's not because, okay, so this continues. So we're gonna wanna fade it out right here because we're not going that far right now. But when we do go that far, fading it out will keep it from keeping like a line in between. And that's kind of what we're going for. We don't want the lines. The lines make it very easy to see where I stopped. And we don't want that. So I keep forgetting that these are not separate from the rest of the body. So we need to make sure that they are cohesive. And we make them cohesive by remembering that it's a part of the body, which is technically a big cylinder. And cylinders are shaded very smoothly. So we smoothly shape the cylinder. And I think that's about good because we're going to continue on here after we finish this area. Okay, yeah. So, oh yeah, I have to come down here and smoothen that out. And then these I also shaded, so we have to, that's a whole, blend that out. Did I not blend that out with the light color? I must not have. Yeah, I must not have. Okay. Now we can put this on. There we go. That's blending better. Okay, so now we can go back in with our blues and add our little wound thingies. I don't know, I saw a Okay, so that was weird. It like bounced me out. Oh, I don't know why I ended it right there. That's supposed to continue on. This goes all the way up here. And this is why you erase your sketching. That's okay. So then we need our dark colors back. Technically that shouldn't be in that much of a shadow, but that's okay. I mean, you could get away with it by saying it's the shadow of the flower, but I don't know. Light gray. And we warm it back up. And then we cool it back down and blend it. Beautiful. Okay, so now I think, so first actually I think I'm gonna add the subtlest, tiniest bit of shading around where the ribs would be. Just because I think it'll add just a bit of depth, but also I just added that in the wrong spot. That's okay though, this blends out, so it should be fine. This goes up here. That's not a hole, that is a hole, so then we just... Okay, so we've added the shadows in. I'm gonna go in with just a hinge of yellow in some of these areas to give it a bit more of a infected, inflamed vibe, I guess. Just a little bit. This especially looks good in the darker areas. The little tinges of yellow coming out of like the darker areas, I just think looks so good. And I kind of make it sporadic so it seems more infection and less, or not infection, I don't know why I keep saying infection, but like I don't want it all to look yellow. I want it to just be that actually has to be a lot darker, so I'll wait to mess with that till later. And then this has to be blue. Oh, my allergies today have been like absolutely awful. And it's making my nose very itchy today. Okay, I'm gonna add just a few more little dots up here because I feel like it's kind of empty. Yeah, I think that's better, and then we'll just, they don't have to be anything super noticeable. Okay, so I feel like now it's time to go in with the bone. Well, no, actually, I want to do some veins. We're going to do some veins. Now, how accurate is it that there be veins visible? I don't know. But we're going to add them nonetheless because I feel like they give it just that added bit of spooky. And we do love our spooky around here. I really like the veins in these darker areas, kind of like where I put the yellow. I feel like they look more, I don't know, sickly. Maybe it's because there's yellow. I don't know. I just feel like it looks right in my little brain. But also, we add them everywhere else too because they're veins. Can you even see that on the camera? I think so. Maybe. Okay, whoop, there goes my pencil. Okay. I wanted to add a little bit of this gray into the shadows right here. Trying to add a little bit of, I mean, it'll probably be implied when I shade the ribs, but for now, they're there. Okay, so I added that. Now I'm gonna add just the smallest bit of these little red dots because I added them to the arms, and I think I added too many yellow dots last night though because they seemed a bit excessive when I looked close, but that's okay. We're not going to add as many because I don't think they're kind of supposed to be like freckles, but not freckles. And I don't think people have as many freckles on their stomach. I know I have a few, but not very many. So I think that's all we'll do with that. I want to add more veins, but I also don't want it to be too veiny because obviously too veiny will look weird and not good. But at the same time, I like how it looks when it's veiny. There's supposed to be a blue dot there. And we'll do one here too because it's supposed to be there, technically, but also not really. Okay, so now we can move on to the veins. We don't want to do black, but we do want to do a very dark color. So let's see. I have a brown. Where's my swatch sheet? Here it is. I mean, that's almost black, but what if we covered it with a dark red on top? Actually, yeah, I think that works. Okay, put that away, and then we'll start going over these dark areas where there is nothing. Where there's supposed to be something, but I don't think that it would stay in there if, you know, she's breaking open. Be very careful because I want to keep these corners nice and sharp. Okay, and then go over it with just a touch of red. I feel like it's barely noticeable, but it's just noticeable enough. Okay, yeah, so now we'll do that with the one right under it. And then go back over that with the red. Okay, these allergies. Okay. So now these are holes that we have to fill in. I think instead of going over these with red later, I'm gonna go over them with white. Because, okay. Goodness sake. Okay. Sorry if you can hear my husband in the background. He's playing a video game. Okay. So there's that. And then hopefully this does look good in the end because, you know, I don't really know what I'm doing. I haven't done one of these drawings in a very, very, very long time. But, I mean, I'm not doing anything different than what I remember doing when I did these, so. Oh, I'm so confused. I've confused myself. Because that was colored in dark. But this one is colored in the opposite way. But that's okay, because I feel like it'll look fine. So, just sharpen the corners. I kind of botched that corner, but that's okay. Okay, I did want that to be a hole also. But I feel like the rib would come right there. So we're gonna leave space for that. And we're just gonna continue going down. Yeah, I really confused myself, didn't I? Well, that's what happens when I guess you were drawing at 5 a.m. But I mean, what are you gonna do? I like drawing at 5 a.m., so it's fine. So fine. I probably will have to come over here with a colored pencil and sharpen up those lines later, but that's okay. Okay. That stops right here because there's supposed to be a bone there. The shoulder blade, to be exact. But anyway, I'm still debating on if I'm gonna do the outer corners of this red or like almost white, because if I do the outside edges of the skin red, it'll look like, you know, fresh. But if I do it with a white, it'll look, I don't know. But that's a problem for later me, because right now we're coloring in shades. So, okay, this is right too, because that's a bone, so that's gonna be there. I hope. I kind of didn't think the placement of this all the way through. Probably should have. But it always, it always works out in the end. I liked the music I was playing on YouTube better, but I didn't like all the ads, so I'm kind of conflicted on what to do right now. The other music was just better. Okay, I have to put my knee up because it's starting to hurt. Ow! That hurt even more. Okay, there we go. So now we'll continue on this. See, I don't know what's going on here because there's two ribs here, but there's only one rib here. And I don't remember how I connected that earlier, but we're gonna just follow this piece because I know for a fact that this is supposed to be dark. Are you guys having any snacks right now? Because I'm thinking about getting a snack and something to drink. Mainly something to drink. The other night while I was on live, we were talking about coffee. And if you guys haven't tried the Starbucks white or like the vanilla frappuccino that you can get at like the grocery store in those little glass cups, you have to mix it with hazelnut creamer and then strawberry syrup or strawberry puree. If you're in a rush, strawberry syrup. If you're not in a rush, strawberry puree. But it tastes so good. I had it in, well, I had like Starbucks actually make it for me in the hospital while I was visiting my grandma for like the entire month of May. And it was so good. Oh crap. I always get marker on my fingers. Like, it's unavoidable, I guess. Okay, so now we have to figure out this area because that's a rib. But maybe it splits into 2 ribs? Not entirely sure on that. Oh, you know what? The other side of this shouldn't have been all black now that I'm thinking about it. Shoot. Okay, that's later me problem. So this is the continuation, and I'm just gonna say that splits into 2 different section of ribs, and then look at my reference picture later because I want to continue this, and honestly it doesn't need to be absolutely perfect because I'm kind of just drawing this for myself. But yeah. Did it again. This is just all over the place. I still have some marker from last night stuck under my finger. Even after I showered, it like stained. But whatevs, I guess. Okay, so this has to be overlined in red. Barely makes a difference, but you know, makes enough of a difference to notice at the end. it's red, not brown. Okay, so because all this wasn't supposed to be fully black, we're actually just gonna play into it, and we're gonna pretend like the other side of her is almost completely covered with skin, and it's just starting to break through. I told you about the pens, they keep falling. I was trying to point, and it went, woo. Okay, anyway, so I think I'm done. No, I'm not. I still have to do the other side of the chest cavity. Question is, do we do that now, or we'll do it now? I've got everything out for it. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Wait. Now we have to do bones. Okay, so we have to put all of this to the side. Because bones are not blue, they're not gray, and they're not brown or red. I mean, technically they can be brown, but we're going for like a bone-ish. Not that color bone. I think these are the right colors. Swatch sheet. So if we go like that, and then we shade it with this. Okay, bye. And then go over that with a white colored pencil, which is all the way on the floor. Come here. Please. Okay, I got it. Okay. And then if we go over that with white, just barely until it shows up. Maybe. Okay, but then we're also gonna need a darker color for let's go with, you know, maybe we should look up some references for bones before I go and commit to certain colors. I thought I had skeleton reference pictures saved, but we'll see. Oh, bless me. Okay. That's not really helpful. I need to know. Okay, so they're coloring it in with a bluish green. Okay. So I guess more of like a blue tone. They're not really giving me much for how to correctly shade bone. So I guess I'm just gonna do what I did for the skeleton, or for the skulls, and do my best. So I think we're gonna go with these colors, but I'm gonna take so they've got blue in this reference, but I don't think that'll look right. Actually, it doesn't look bad, but also it looks too close to the skin. So I think we're gonna do a darker brown. That's orange. I don't want orange. I want brown. A nice dirty brown. Oh, that might be too dark. We'll see. Kind of disintegrates that color, but I think I like where that's going. And then we'll cover it in white. Okay. So we'll go in with the first color. And I want this to be specifically lighter than, obviously, the skin, but I don't want it to be too dark. That that didn't make sense. This might not be the right move for this bone, but I mean, I kind of like how it's looking, because it does, like, the only issue is it's not blending out very well. But also I don't hate it. And then I could just go over it a little bit with the white. Yeah, okay, I mean, I think that looks enough like a bone. A dirty bone, but a bone. I think it gets the message across. But before we do that, we're gonna go over with this, because I think that this requires a lot of layering, and I don't want it to bleed, because it's already started to bleed. And we're trying to avoid bleeding, which is kind of ironic. Okay, and then we go in with the white. And then we'll dark in that part because I feel like it would all be in shadow anyway. Okay, so I doubt that I can bring that back, but I'm gonna try. Well, I guess that does it. It does the job. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think I like how that looks. Because no one said it had to be new bone, right? I mean, it can just be old bone. Like, I don't know. I think so. So I guess we'll just continue until I'm over it, I guess. We'll just continue down the line. The line of bones. There's a lot of them on this one. Okay. So then we go and add our brown. I feel like it adds some warmth too because I made the skin kind of peachy and cold. I think I like how that looks. I do. Okay, so we're gonna go down here. We're gonna hop. Because I wanna hop. Now we're just gonna pretend as if that isn't directly in shadow. Like, because this isn't touching that, so it wouldn't directly be in shadow.
That's what I'm saying.
So this actually has to be this dark color. Or almost black color. Because that is a rib. And then we just shade this. Okay.